I've spent a lot of time testing different parts of the crypto ecosystem. Wallets, exchanges, bridges, swap services, pretty much anything people use on a daily basis. And after a while, I started noticing that the same complaints kept showing up everywhere. One person can't complete a transfer, somebody else is waiting for a withdrawal, then another user is trying to move assets between networks and runs into an error halfway through the process. And the more examples I saw, the less interested I became in comparing brands, and the more interested I became in understanding why these situations keep happening in the first place. Because most people aren't doing anything complicated. They're sending assets, receiving assets, that's usually it. But somehow, even simple actions can end up involving extra steps, delays, network costs, or unexpected issues. And that's really what got my attention. So over the past few months, I've been testing a few different solutions to see whether any of them actually improve the experience in a meaningful way. So in this video, I'm going to show one of the wallets I've been testing recently, walk through the setup process, and then show how I transfer and swap assets like Ethereum, BNB, USDT, and several others without transaction fees or additional blockchain costs. All right, let's start from the beginning. Right here on the main screen, I click Create Wallet. At this stage, I need to create a password. Nothing unusual here. I usually recommend taking a little extra time with this step because the password protects access to the wallet on the local device. Once that's done, I click Continue. Now the wallet generates a 12-word recovery phrase. And honestly, this is the one part of the setup that really matters. The password can always be changed later. The recovery phrase cannot. So whenever I create a wallet, I save the phrase offline and keep it somewhere secure, because access to the phrase means access to the wallet. Okay, after saving it, I move to the next screen. Now it asks me to confirm several words from the phrase. This is just a quick check to make sure everything was written down correctly. Then I click Verify. And that's it. A few seconds later, the wallet finishes initialization and becomes fully active. Pretty straightforward process, no complicated settings, no extra configuration, just a few minutes from start to finish. Alright, now let's see how it works in practice. I've been using this wallet regularly for a while now, so instead of creating a test scenario, I'll use my own. I want to send a few assets to my MetaMask wallet, so first I copy the receiving address. Then I come back here and click Send. Then I select the correct network, then destination chain, paste the address, enter the amount I want to send, and continue. Now, before confirming, I always review the details one last time, and right here I can also see that the transaction fee is 0. No gas charge, no additional transfer cost. Everything looks good, so I click Confirm. Alright, transaction has been submitted, and now it's just waiting for processing. And there it is, tokens arrived in my MetaMask wallet, balance updated correctly, and there were no transaction fees associated with the operation. The process itself is simple enough that there's really not much to explain once you've done it a couple of times. Now, naturally, after seeing transfers processed this way, the next question becomes fairly obvious. How does the system support these transactions if standard transfers aren't charging users fees? So I spent some time looking into that as well, and from what I've seen, the model is based on protocol revenue rather than charging for routine transfers. There are optional features available for users who need things like larger transaction limits or faster processing, and there's also a small spread generated when swaps are routed through liquidity providers. That revenue helps support the infrastructure and the gas relay mechanism used by the protocol. From a user perspective, though, none of that changes the actual workflow. The main thing I noticed during testing is that everything feels a little more direct. Less time thinking about fees, less time switching between services, less time checking whether enough gas is sitting in the right wallet on the right network. So far, that's been my experience here. And honestly, for everyday crypto activity, that's usually what matters most.